guys, it's Ashley, and today I am doing a video that I've been wanting to do for a very long time now, but just never got around to it when it was popular, and I am going to be reacting to your assumptions about me. This is like such a self-centered video, but I don't even care. So I've been seeing people for a really long time do this video. I've seen a couple people recently do it, and it's kind of brought this urge to do it once more back into my life. So today I'm going to be reacting to your assumptions. I asked you on Instagram for some things that you assume about me that I don't normally share online, and you guys answered, and some of them surprised me, some of them didn't. So today I'm just going to... You see Maverick back there? Okay, buddy. So today I'm just going to be reacting to what you guys assume about me. Let's get started. So I'm gonna kick it off with probably the most important assumption about me ever, and that is if I had a One Direction phase. Short answer, absolutely yes. Is anybody ever not in a One Direction phase, even currently? Long answer, so my sister was the one who was obsessed, right? She was the one who had like the walls covered in posters and the merch and like all of the stuff, and I was the older sister who would sit in the background and pretend that she was really annoying and, you know, say that like One Direction wasn't a big deal and they were like okay, and then I would secretly go in my room and listen to the music constantly and learn all the lyrics and become silently obsessed with it. I was definitely that kid when I was younger who like would shun all of the really popular stuff and then would secretly go and like the popular stuff, you know? I was too cool for the popular stuff, but then I wanted to get into it, so I would. I was a mess. But yeah, we actually went to 2 One Direction concerts, and the one thing that I remember about both of those concerts is that we were too young to go by ourselves, so my mom came with us, and we would sit there and we would sing and listen and blah blah blah, and the whole time my mom would sit there and be like, where's the dancing that the boy bands used to do? All they're doing is singing and walking into one another on the stage. And I was like, you know what? Accurate, valid, but we don't need that criticism here, Mom. And while we're on the topic of music, somebody else said that my favorite Fall Out Boy album is From Under the Cork Tree. And first of all, thank you for remembering that I like Fall Out Boy. I have only said that like a couple times here or on Instagram, so you really like paid attention. But my favorite Fall Out Boy album is not From Under the Cork Tree. It is actually, and I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, Save Rock and Roll. I actually hadn't listened to Fall Out Boy up until they released Save Rock and Roll, and I remember first hearing Alone Together at my friend's house when I was having a sleepover, and I was like, oh my god, I love this song, and then I slowly started getting into their older stuff. But yeah, that's my favorite album. I think also, I really love the songs that feature other people, specifically Save Rock and Roll that features Elton John. That is gold. I'm here for that collaboration. I also got a couple assumptions about my hair. One person said, you think your hair is too long and you want to cut it. And then another person said, you've had long hair before. Yeah, and then somebody else said you want to cut your hair super short. So let's just answer all 3 of these while I'm here right now. First of all, the reason that my hair is long is because of the pandemic. Last year I was just too lazy / worried when everything started opening back up in Florida to go and get my hair done, and I was just kind of like, I'll just grow it out and see what happens. So cut to more than a year later, and this is where we're at. I wouldn't say that I like it or dislike it at this point. I'm honestly kind of neutral about long hair, and yes, I have had long hair in the past. Here's a fun picture of me with really long hair. Yeah, I'm just kind of neutral about it. Like, I like short hair because it's easy to maintain and it's like just a cute cut, but I also like long hair because I feel like there's more you can do with it and it looks better when I curl it. But at the same time, long hair just sometimes makes me really hot. Like if I'm outside and my hair is not up, I am sweating buckets. So I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it in the future. I feel like I'm definitely gonna cut it short again when like fall and winter comes around, but for now, we're just gonna see how much longer I can deal with this. Something a little booktube related. Somebody said you regret your large book hauls at the beginning of your YouTube channel. No, I don't know. I wouldn't say that I regret them at all. Like, I feel like I've definitely unhauled a bunch of books that I had hauled back then, but there's also a lot of books back then that I hauled that like turned into favorites. And also like I'm not against like buying a bunch of books, if that makes sense. Like if you want to buy a bunch of books, then buy a bunch of books. It's really not a big deal. But I also feel like recently I have gone the route of doing ebooks and library books and, you know, books that I don't have to physically buy and haul. So I don't know, I feel like this goes either way. I don't regret any of the stuff that I did way back when, unless you count like a couple of really cringy videos, but also I can understand why some people might, so I don't know, it's kind of wish-washy, but that's my answer. This one's really easy. You don't care to read a whole series all at once unless you are obsessed, and I think that is kind of self-explanatory with what's happening on my channel now. Yes, I have become obsessed with Keeper of the Lost Cities, so I'm currently in the middle of binging the series, and if I pick up a series or, you know, an author's books or something that I really fall in love with and become obsessed with, then yeah, I will binge that and put off all of my other responsibilities. Just like if I start watching a TV show that I'm obsessed with, I will literally sit down and binge it rather than do anything else, and it's a problem because I cannot focus on anything until I finish what I'm currently obsessed with, and that's when my procrastination and my, you know, waiting until the last minute gets in the way because I focus on something that I'm obsessed with rather than doing what's actually important. I'm just gonna go ahead and knock out some of the ones about books right now, just so that they're all kind of in the same category, I guess. Somebody else said you stop reading your current book if another book hits your mood right. Yes and no. I'm very much one of those people who needs to finish the book that I'm reading before I start anything else, but at the same time, I have in the past, like, gotten halfway through a book and then started another book because I really wanted to start it and then kept come back to the other book. So I guess the answer then is yes, if it hits my mood right, yeah. You're more picky with what you read now than you were when you started. This is another kind of like maybe iffy one because I don't know. If anything, I feel like I'm less picky. Like back when I started, I would really only read YA fantasy, YA romance, YA contemporary, and now I feel like I've branched off into so many more things. Like I read thrillers sometimes, historical fiction I've read, I read adult books and lots of middle grade, and so, you know, recently I've gotten into comics and I've even read manga recently. My brother's forcing me to read manga because he's obsessed with anime and manga now, so I am being forced to read manga and I'm enjoying it. So it's like, I feel like I'm, if anything, less picky because I've branched out so much that I feel like I can really just pick up anything and, you know, feel comfortable in possibly enjoying it. You tend to fall for the soft character instead of the bad guy in books or movies. Okay, but listen. What if the bad guy is really a soft character and it's just a hard exterior that he's putting on because of stuff that he's gone through in his life? Then what's the answer here? Typically, yes. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay, so let's get into some more non-bookish ones. The first one I want to point out is you are great at small talk. This is just so funny to me. Because I'm so not. If you've ever met me in person as like somebody who watches my videos, I try my best, like I try my absolute best to have small talk and conversation. But if you have been with me when I'm in a group of people, I am the person who like steps to the back, I don't say anything, I let everybody else talk, but I try so hard to be good at small talk and it just never goes well. So this is like, no. I am horrible at small talk, but I really do my best. Okay, somebody said you stay in your room a majority of the time, and somebody else said that I'm anxious to go outside of my house. So to this one, I'm gonna say no, I'm not anxious, I'm just really lazy. And to this one, I'm gonna say yes, but the only reason that you know that is because I'm only ever in my room when I'm vlogging or filming or recording. If I'm not doing any of those things, I would say half the time I'm in the rest of my house. And if I'm ever vlogging or recording in the rest of my house, not in my room, it's because my family isn't home. I get kind of nervous, even still to this day, to be filming in front of them. It just is kind of like an awkward thing, and so it's just much easier to do it in my room. Somebody said you're good at studying and you don't like to go out at night. Yeah, I'm really good at studying. When I was in school, I would be that kid who on test day, when, you know, the teacher handed out the papers and we all sat down and we took the test or the Scantron or whatever, 10 minutes later, I would be the first person to stand up, put my test in the basket, sit back down, and like read. That would be me. I was a really good test taker in school. I'm really good at studying. I have this weird, like, not a photographic memory, but I have the ability to like look at a page of a book that I'm studying, like a textbook, let's say, and I can remember like where something is on the page in relation to certain things. So if there was like, I don't know, a vocab word and it was at the top right corner next to the picture of the apple or something, I'm just like guessing here, then I would be able to remember what that was because I would know like, oh, it was in the top right corner, like it was next to this, like yeah, I know exactly what that is. Very weird. I don't know why my brain does that, why I've ever done that in the past, but yeah, I was always really good at studying and I was always really, really good at test taking. Like really good at test taking, and I am so grateful for it. And then, yeah, no, I don't like going out at night. Honestly, if I could be at home on the couch watching TV after like 7 p.m., I would. Like, I don't know. You're a Swifty. This one is a little controversial for me because I want to say yes, I am. I do like Taylor Swift's music, but I only like some of her music. So I don't think I've ever talked about this before on my channel. Sorry to all like the hardcore Swifties out there who really love all of her music all the time, but I really can only listen to albums 1 through 3, which is Taylor Swift, Fearless, and Speak Now. Speak Now is my all-time favorite album. That album will forever and always, forever and always, be in my heart, be up there on a pedestal for some reason. Speak Now, I love it. Speak Now was the one Taylor Swift tour concert that I ever went to, so yeah, absolutely a fan. Love it to death. And then Fearless, so many bops came out of that time. Her first album, I used to listen to country when I was younger because that's what my dad would listen to when he drove me to school, and so Taylor Swift's first album that was more like steeped in country music was like my thing. Like I was obsessed with it when I was younger. So yeah, anything like Red and beyond, I'm not a fan of. I personally, I don't like Reputation. I really didn't like Lover. I'm not a fan of Folklore and Evermore. I'm so sorry if I'm like literally breaking your heart. It's just my personal opinion. The only song that I will say that is an absolute bop that I will jam to forever in any of her latest albums is Blank Space on the 1989 album. That song just goes hard every time, but otherwise, yeah. I'm a Swiftie up until the Speak Now album, and then everything after that is not my favorite. Sorry. Somebody said you're really into astrology, and that is a hardcore no. I know nothing about astrology. I am a Cancer, and that's all I know. Also, I'm pretty sure somebody else said that they think my zodiac sign is Cancer, and you are correct. It is Cancer, and that's all I know about it. If anybody wants to know more about it, my birthday was July 8th, 1997, if that helps. You can look into that. I don't know if you need any more information, but that's my birthday. You don't really like to make a lot of friends. It's not that I don't like to make a lot of friends, it's just that I'm really bad at making a lot of friends. I'm sure that like everybody says this, and it's true for me too. I'm really awkward in person. I'm not great at making conversation, like I said earlier, and I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I don't go out. I don't like, you know, leave my house very often. So the friends that I do have, I've made either through school, which I have one friend that I've been best friends with since 3rd grade. And then my other friends have come from either working with them or through YouTube, like this. But yeah, at this point, all of the people that I'm friends with kind of live in other areas, so I don't really go out with anyone other than like my sister. It's not that I don't like to make friends, it's just that I don't really have a whole lot of friends and I'm not really good at making them. So yeah, there's a little admission there. Okay, and while we're on the subject of friendships, relationships, I might as well get these 2 assumptions out of the way. Somebody said you've never had a long-term / serious relationship, and somebody else said you're single because you're focused on your career, very much girl boss energy. First of all, thank you for thinking that. It is partly true. Let's talk about the second one first. So yeah, I'm single, and it is mostly because I'm focusing on my career. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing with my life and where I'm going from here and how to move out of my parents' house and, you know, all of the things that come along with being in your early 20s. I have had relationships in the past, but I have broken them off because of these exact reasons. I wanted to focus on myself, on my career, and stuff like that. No, I've never had a serious long-term relationship. I'm not gonna get into the details about that, but I will just say no. Having gone to a high school where, you know, everybody was obsessed with dating and, you know, having a boyfriend and stuff like that, I've always felt more comfortable on my own. I would never be opposed to meeting someone and starting a relationship, but I just am not that person to go out searching for it right now. So I'm perfectly comfortable and fine being alone, and I think that that is, you know, something that people should be comfortable with before they decide they're going to go and start a relationship. I mean, not like every person. This is not obviously going to be for every person, but I think I don't know, for me at least, I felt like being comfortable in my own skin and like, you know, being comfortable being on my own was better for me before I got into anything else, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. You don't like cats. No, I do love cats. I just have a dog right now. Somebody said you're a positive person, and this is such a flip-flop answer for me, so I'm sorry that I'm gonna have to give you this answer. I would say sometimes. It definitely depends on the situation. I would say most of the time I try to have a positive outlook on things, but there are just some things that I'm just very pessimistic about and don't think that that will ever change in the near future. Like I said, for the most part, I try to be optimistic and positive and try to put, you know, a positive spin on things, especially in a really tough situation. And, you know, when I'm trying to make somebody feel better, I will definitely go for the whole, like, trying to make you laugh route. But there are just some things that I can't be positive about. Some of these answers are really making me go to like a dark place, guys. So I'm gonna end on this last one because I think it's really funny and I laughed when I first saw it, and that is, you are rich. My answer is, God, I wish. I wish I was. So those were some of your assumptions that you guys had about me. I hope that I answered some of your questions that you maybe had about who I am and what I do and all of that kind of thing. I thought that this video was really fun. I had a good time doing it, and I hope that you learned something that you didn't know before and that this video didn't seem too self-centered and self-absorbed. If you guys have any other, I don't know, assumptions about me or questions for me, I will go through the comments and answer what I can. So feel free to leave it down there. And if you want me to do another one of these videos where I ask you guys on YouTube this time for assumptions, I can totally do that. Also let me know. I guess I probably should have opened it up to, you know, my YouTube audience as well, but for some reason I only thought about doing it on Instagram. So just let me know what you wanna see, you know. But thanks to you guys on Instagram who did send in your assumptions. I appreciate it, and I'm happy that I could make this video. So I think that's actually going to be it. If you want to follow me on any of my socials, all my handles are in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you later. Bye!